Right, you guys, welcome to the second True Diamond Mindset interview. I'm with my boy Phil, aka Amazon Trapstar on Instagram, the GOAT of Amazon. If you don't know him, you will soon. He's everywhere. If you've already watching this video, it's too late. His ads are coming for you, just like mine, right? And so today I want to go. Phil's been in the program since January of last year, so all of 2025 we've been working together. He's come unbelievably far in his business to the point where people don't believe this type of shit I post from his screenshots. So I'm hoping you guys hear from him today, just to hear just how hard he's worked because it's a lot of people see things on my story, his story, and they see the flashy life. They see us doing stuff like this, and they don't understand kind of what I think is the first tax or payment you have to pay as an entrepreneur, which is like eating shit and failing for 7 to 8 years. I think every person I've talked to who does really well has had like a 7 year tax or journey they had to pay in order to kind of hit those breakthrough moments where it feels a little more real. And we'll talk about it, but you still feel like you don't know what you're doing sometimes, no matter where you're at. So I don't want to get ahead of myself too much though. So Phil, I want you to take us back to the moment when you first signed up. But I actually want to go a little bit before that because I think it's important for people to know. Phil followed me in October, okay, the first time. Now, as most of you guys know or have followed me and interacted with my page, if you follow me, I'm gonna send a message. What's up? How you doing? Right? And I think I sent Phil like 3 messages. Absolute crickets. Did not hear back. He's like, man, I don't know. And it makes sense, right? There's so many people out there saying that they can do XYZ. And with what I do, there's a lot of sometimes unclarity as to what it is, and it's not as clear of an offer as, hey, I'm gonna give you 10 appointments next month, give me 10 grand or something like that, like a lot of these people. So it takes a little bit longer to watch the content and understand if it's something you need or not. And so Phil then follows me. I don't hear back from him. I assume, like everybody else, I'm not gonna bother him, I'm not gonna blow it up. And then in January, he reaches out to me. And so back in January, what were you going through? What was your mind then? And what made you want to reach out?
So I've been an entrepreneur for about 4 years. I do Amazon FBA wholesale. Essentially, I just sell like name brand stuff on Amazon, stuff people are already buying, stuff like that. And I've been doing that for about 3 years when I reached out to you, and it was something you said about entrepreneurs getting stuck, and nobody really talks about that. It's like people see, like you said, the lifestyle and they think like, oh, they got it all figured out. And it's like, I figured it out along the way.
Yeah.
And like, I was trying to fill voids with success.
Yes.
And like, that doesn't work. And, so I remember, so when I was doing Amazon, I remember it was like the first day I made like $3,500 profit in a day, and I didn't really have to do much. And it was like, I was depressed as shit. I was like, I was a single dad at the time. I used to do drywall for 7 years. And so, first of all, like I made more money in a day than I did in a week plus doing drywall. And I'm like, I should be happy. But, I didn't have my kids, and like my personal life was just not in order. I was trying to prioritize my business, which, like, looking back now, because I'm in a much better place, I'm happy about. But at that time, it was just very dark, right? And so, um, I'm real big. I read a lot, and I'm real big on mindset. And I came across his content, and like he said, he reached out, and then I finally pulled the trigger, reached out to him. We got on a meeting, and I just knew right away from talking with him. It's like, I don't need some guy to tell me like, oh, you need to do this in your business to go make more money. I need someone to like let me know like, yo, why can't I fucking fix this?
Mm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
And
really
like, because here's the thing, it's like you keep going, and like it's like I need to enjoy what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm working my ass off, and I need to be able to enjoy this. So, uh, I just saw it becoming an issue, and I'm one on, like, if I notice something with myself, I try to address it as soon as possible.
yeah.
So, um,
It's important. I think something you said is really important. A couple of things you said are really important. Uh, I just it's really clear there as far as doing mindset work, right? Like you weren't a newbie to a lot of the concepts that we discuss and even work on practicing more. Because at the end of the day, I think one of the things that stuck out to me when we first started working together is I did back when I had my best month at Amazon, this is all the stuff I was doing.
Mhm.
And so I think that's a huge thing. I've had this experience a bunch of times with mentors and other people I've paid where like they didn't necessarily show me something I didn't know. They reminded me of something I forgot that I was and it worked before and I knew it worked. And then throughout, as you grow in business and go through different phases, you might have a different break into something, right? Something you put together was working great, and then you get this new idea. It's usually always this goes like this. You have something, it's working really good. As soon as the thing is working good, you go, oh, well, now I should do something else to make more. It's like during that process is where you start forgetting the foundation that got you to where you were at, and you start letting go of some of those habits, and then that's where you can get lost on that for sometimes 6 months, a year, 2 years. It's just that one little interaction with somebody, either at like in a one-on-one session, or sometimes just seeing a video on Instagram or on IG, or at a event like a mastermind situation, and you hear somebody else talk and you go, oh, I knew I was supposed to do that. I said I was going to do that a year ago. And there's also the case where you were doing it, but you didn't have the skills yet to do it the correct way. So now it's time to revisit it. It will work. And so I think it was big because you're like, dude, I got to be more on this. And right away, I've seen some crazy results from it. But I want to first go to what were you the most skeptical about before like really pulling the trigger? Like what was going through your thoughts? Because I'm sure there was a period of time. Obviously, I didn't see this because by the time you did message me, right, you were all in. So maybe in the between area there, as you're going through, and maybe it's like the second, third time you saw one of my videos, you're like, let me listen to it. What are you thinking about that? What's the most skeptical part?
Honestly, there really wasn't much skepticism because, like, I could tell right off the rip your content was authentic. It was just, it took me a little while to, like, really, I mean, it wasn't, it's like, I think I just had to see it a few times for it to be like, that could really help me with this one area that I am I'm seemingly pushing off continually,
Mm,
And, like, to your point, too, it's like every time I would set a new like feat for a business, like my Amazon business, I was doing very well. Then I started doing the coaching with people.
mm,
And, so it was like, but then I'm noticing I'm stuck in this mindset where I'm not happy. And I'm like, I'm making way more money than I was ever making doing drywall alone. And like, now my Amazon's doing good and I'm able to do this thing where I'm able to help people, but it's like I'm not taking time to like appreciate what I did
yes.
and like enjoy what I did. And like I have two daughters and being able to enjoy time with them, like being present and, being able to just like understand where I'm at. Cause like I would always forget, like, oh, I came from this. Like, my daughter was telling me a little while ago, she remembers my car decline when we would grocery shop. And it's like, that was not that long ago. And so yeah, I saw a continuing spiral of like just chasing new goals and new levels of success and not really enjoying the moments as they come or even enjoying the journey,
Yes.
because I look back at the moments now of like me grinding and building everything. And I mean, I documented my whole Amazon thing and it's on my page, and like I'm able to go back and see it, and it's like, you know but it's being able to be in the moment and like
Just enjoy
enjoy
it.
life. And that was a lot of stuff that you pointed at. um and like you said too, it's like it was stuff that it's like I'm like I read a lot about everything and I take action on a lot of stuff, but like
Yes.
there was things that I was letting slack because I also felt like I'm getting to this level of comfortability in a sense. And it's like, oh, I got here, maybe I don't need to do these things, right? And there was like writing things down every day and things like that that really keep me centered and understanding where I'm going so that I can keep building things on top of each other while still having my life and time for the people that I love.
Yes. And I think something to get. I know I said I probably wasn't gonna go that deep, but this is a medium deep, okay? Let's do it. Because I think it's important, right? One of the first things we do or that we did in the program is called the X over X assessment. And I'm sure you remember this
Yep.
transformational
Yep.
call. And so what this assessment is for you guys listening is where it goes over the fear wall talk, which if you haven't seen the full video on either the fear wall or my training on how to get rid of outcome obsession, you can go look at that in the link or it'll be somewhere on the screen. But essentially we have all my clients do pull out what is the worst things you think about yourself that nobody else knows. Okay. And it's not just special to you. Okay. So everybody feel good about this, right? Every person that I've ever had do this assessment has some pretty nasty things to say about themselves. And here's the thing, when we explain this to people, I'm sure you remember this, it's not, hey, what are some horrible things you say about yourself sometimes? What are some things you say every once in a while? No. What are you saying every day in the internal voice that absolutely nobody else, can hear? And I think what's important about what you said too is like, you were at a level 5 years ago when you're in those drywall situations where you would kill to be you. Even back when you first met me. Like literally, you just got out to work all day, just hopped in the truck. And if I could take a picture of you a year ago, I'm not talking about now. That would be too real for that film, right? A year ago, we even take that guy and show drywall Phil him. You're gonna be like, man, must be nice. Like I swear that's the words coming out, right?
Yeah.
And what I think is crazy is that even when you're there, you have to achieve something in life to know that this is real. You hear it in rap songs, you hear it in movies, and you might be stuck in the trenches. And I want you to know both of us sitting up here have been there. And like Phil said, not that long ago. This isn't like we've been had it for a long time, right? We were there with you. And if you're in that space and you're going, man, I'm never gonna get out, I'm never gonna make it, I'm not gonna have it. If I only had 10, 15K a month. I had the car I want. If I had a house that was mine, if I could pay my rent without, them worrying about it, I would be happy. And you gotta make 15K a month to know that shit ain't true, bro. Like that's not it. It's not the things. And I heard a really good version of this the other day where the guy was talking about if you could only bring 5 things to an island and you were gonna stand there for the island for the rest of your life. Okay, you're gonna die there, 100%. What would you say? Let's just play it out right now. What were the 5 things you would bring to the island? It could be people to anything. 5 things.
Oh, 5 things they be people too.
It could be to people too. You got to
Let's
pick
see.
and choose, right?
Let's see.
You can total family and friends into one.
Okay. Okay. Cool. That's good. Let's see. A Bible, my girl and my kids. Bow and arrow to kill some shit.
See,
To eat.
smart man.
Um.
I never thought of that once. Every time.
Let's see.
Being some fruit and berries, bro.
Let's see. Man, something to do fire,
Okay.
and then I would bring.
It's important that this is good. That's good. That last one's usually hard to pick.
Ham radio so I can get the fuck out of there.
There we go. Okay. Now here's the thing: you can't get out of there, right? That was guaranteed in the promise. You're gonna die on the island. But the point is, here's the point. Here's the point.
Okay.
Here's the point. None of the things that you said, knowing that you would die, or those are the 5 things that you think would be like the most important to you.
Yeah.
Okay, the first 3 for sure. The last 2 was like survival thoughts, right? But like the first 3 things are the most important things to you, and you already have them.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't say I need a mansion and to make $1 million a month and to be the world's greatest Amazon coach and to have 10 Rolexes and 5 Lambos and to be best friends with LeBron James, right? Like you didn't say none of that.
Yeah.
But we convince ourselves that that's the stuff that matters and that it'll make us feel anyway. But those 3 things is all that you need to be happy. And so I think that's a huge lesson for a lot of people struggling. I promise you, it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you don't get clear on what it is that you already have that is important to you, nothing else will make it feel better. I mean, I've spoken to millionaires who post, how many YouTube videos have you seen from mentors go, I made X amount of money this year and I hate my life. And when you're at the bottom, right, it doesn't feel like, well, this dude is not reading the room, right? We're out here starving. But it's seriously when you don't have anything else to focus. And also something you talked about in the beginning is when you're doing a little bit better than other people, not even enough to where it's like everything is great. You know, with the price of everything, having children at
Mm.
50K goes quick, my boy. You know,
Yeah.
and so even if you were at that level though, you now find yourself in a place where nobody can really relate to you, and in your normal circle of influence that you started with, like your friends and family are not going to sympathize correctly with you about your problems, because they're going to say things like, well, I wish I would care about not hitting 20K this month, bro. I can't even turn on my lights, or things like that. Or when you get an idea and you say, yeah, do something like this. I'm about to get a studio and rent out this video to build my business, right? You say that to the wrong person, be like, but that's a waste of time, don't you know? They don't know anything about what it is you're trying to do. They're a totally unqualified support system. So I think it was huge. Uh, and that's something a lot of people go through. Is that something you experience or have like a personal,
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. Like, like whenever I started, whenever I started making like 30 grand a month is when I really started thinking I should be happy. And like, and then, but it was also because a lot of it was too, like I was in that phase where the people that I spent my whole life being around, I was outgrowing them
Mhm.
or just trying to grow myself. And, you get friction from that
Yeah,
because a lot of people, and like, trying to bring friends along with you on your journey
yeah,
because you know that, and then, yeah, I dealt with a lot of doubt, a lot of people laughing at me. And like, so it was because online money's a scam,
yeah,
right?
right.
Didn't you hear
Yeah,
about that?
yeah, yeah. That's actually the best scammers in the world. That's the
Yeah,
reason
it's
why.
Amazon's a scam, but
Man,
no, like, and it's crazy now. I get those same people in my messages, like, how do you, oh, I had one guy I used to do drywall with actually came over, and I'm teaching him how to do
yeah,
Amazon now. I got another guy call me, and it's like, first of all, it's like that support would have been nice, but on the other hand, it's like I needed to go through that phase because I need to be okay with who I am, and like I have outgrown those people, and I have found myself in a smaller but more genuine group of people,
yes,
and like people that want to see me win. Like, I remember I had like a 15K day the other day, and I messaged a few people, and like the difference in responses from people was just insane, and it really puts things into perspective for you. It's like, and it's almost like I don't even know if they understand what they're
no,
saying, but like it's also getting to a point where I don't let that bother me
yeah,
anymore. And it's like, unfortunately, if certain people are the way they are, but I've had to deal with that a lot. And then breaking past that was like where you came in crucial to be able to help me like look at myself and like, yo, put the money, like put that aside for a minute, and what's up with you,
yeah,
and like what do you want, what do you got going. I remember you telling me things about myself, and that beautiful woman sitting right there, I told him that, I was lonely as shit. I had 2 kids. I was putting all my time into my business.
50K a month, by the way. He was 3 weeks before this. He just texted me. He's like, dude, you said a 50K a month in his second business. This is
That's
his
just my
second
business.
because this isn't the first time. It's total 100. Guys, I just want to be clear. He's got, again, I'm not kidding. The money is not going to do it all. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt, but that's important.
but that's very important. That's very important, and the sooner you can realize that, the better. And like, it's like by the end of this year, I will have turned my old drywall salary, not even my salary and my side jobs of over $100,000. I will be turning that into my monthly profit by the end of this year. And like, to be able to say that confidently and be able to do that and like be able to, I don't know, it's crazy, but like I knew that if I just kept chasing the money, and that's it, I would lose myself.
Yeah.
And like, I needed, I didn't want to be alone. What I didn't want to do. I remember telling one of my mentors this before. I didn't want to be one of them old white dudes who gets pleasure out of money and pussy that he has to pay for.
Amen.
And, and it's like, I want love. I want to genuinely be happy. And I remember telling you I want to find someone, I want to travel, and
No,
like
this is I gotta tell this story because this is literally nuts. Okay, this is now yeah. You guys know if you've been going to the channel, I am a little woo woo. All right, I'm not scared of it. I believe in manifesting now, and this is some examples. I don't like to give it all the credit, but I like to say that we were going to this meeting, and again, Phil just had his record month in his coaching business, not the Amazon business, his old news, and his coaching business just had a record month and he's texting me. Then we get on his call, and everything Amazon business is doing great. All these people in his life are respecting him. He's getting love back from family members and stuff. And he's like, dude, I just feel lonely, bro. I'm not like I don't feel happy, and I'm annoyed that I keep dealing with these feelings, even though I think I'm doing everything. I have everything I want. I'm doing all the things. Why am I bothering? And so one of the things I had him do was just quit hiding from the emotion he was trying to get rid of. All right. So this is a little free game for you guys. It doesn't matter what the emotion is, but whatever you're harboring and then saying, like just example for myself, right? I'm not very what's the best word? Organized. Okay. And I procrastinate a lot. Well, because of that, I have on my own set of skills that I formed to that. So for me to look at myself every day and go, God, I'm so why do I keep procrastinating? Why do I keep procrastinating? I wish I could just do this the right way. I need to get it done. All I'm doing is adding guilt to myself and adding more frustration and more pressure to my brain to try to do it correctly. And that's not going to work. And so, what I can do is lean into the feeling, which is what we did that day. And we lean into the feeling and I go, yeah, I really don't want to work. I'm the laziest motherfucker on the planet. I will never work a day in my life. I hate this. I will never fucking work ever again. I'm never going to get anything done. I'm a failure. Everyone's right. They can tag my Instagram now. Ha ha, you win. Right. And you do that for 30 to 90 seconds. You're like, yeah, that's fucking bullshit. I don't feel like that at all. But now it's gone because you let your body actually feel it. You let your mind process it and fully say yes. Because if you don't, I believe it's your body. There's books on this like called The Body Keeps the Score and stuff like that. I believe if you don't get it out and you don't say it, and it needs to be out loud, I think, to or at least to yourself in a very real way. If you don't get it out, it doesn't go anywhere. You can't actually make it hide, right? It's just like you store it. I've given an example before of a filing cabinet, and if you don't process the thought or the emotion, the filing cabinet fills up, and then you don't know why the filing cabinet is full and jammed. But so now it's a totally separate thing that's going on in your life, and you're reacting out of pocket for it. But it's just because of these series of thoughts and emotions that we've had stored in this cabinet for who knows how long, right? And so we did that, and he was like, "Yeah, bro." And I said, after you felt the feeling, I said, "All right, now, what's the real fear?" And like, "I'm gonna be alone forever." I was like, "How fucking ridiculous does that sound, Phil?" And this is the smile he made right there. He's like, "Pretty fucking stupid." That does sound stupid. And that day, my boy goes out to Red Robin, right? Or it was Red Lobster. I can't remember which one it is.
yeah,
Red something, right? And he goes out and leaves his number to the now. And before, during that meeting, I said, "All right, Phil, I want you to imagine you're on a vacation making 100K a month. I work for us at 100K a month with your dream girl who supports your business and doesn't ask anything from you, and your kids are right there." And you're like, "Dude, that sounds like almost unbelievable." I said, "But just feel it, bro." You're like, "Yeah, no, that does sound nice." And then that day he goes and leaves his number, and this motherfucker has I mean, his bags can't even sit still before they were on another vacation. These two, I've seen them all over. They were just in, was it Vegas, Florida before that?
Florida.
So the vision happened. It's the same day. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I'm proud of you, dude, because you've done some hard work. And it's easy. I know this sounds out of pocket again, but it's easy to make money once you learn the skills and you get around the right people.
Yeah.
You actually feel stupid for all the years you spent not knowing how to make money. I mean, like you said, you had 15K a day the other day. We watched you close 2 clients today without doing nothing. And that's a life that I don't think either one of us could ever imagine was even possible a few years ago. Uh, and you did the work to get here, bro. And my other point was what you said is that all those years you were like, man, I know I will make it. And I think we said this that meeting too. I said, hey, listen, dude, all those years you were struggling and it wasn't working, or things were messing up, or you were getting scammed from bad mentor, whatever the case was, you were still right.
Yeah.
You're right now. Like, here's the proof, but you were right the whole time. Like whether you knew it, here's the proof now. And so hats off to you, bro. Hats off. Let me see. We kind of covered most of this with this last couple of things, but if you could tell your before self, and let's go before working with me, right? That you. If you could tell him anything now, what would you say?
I would tell myself you're gonna make it and don't worry about what other people are saying and don't take it personal. Um, if you have a dream you're trying to chase, chase it. And as long as you got a good plan, like make sure you keep your plan in place and don't fall off course and lean on God,
Yes, sir.
because keep it simple, one thing at a time. Cause like that was a big problem for me was like trying to build things and like looking way too far ahead because then it gets clouded.
Yeah.
And if you're able to sit and just focus on, okay, I got to get this done. Well, worry about what comes next when I'm done with this. And, I think I would have gotten where I am a lot sooner and, invest in myself a lot sooner. Cause like, when the first time I got into a mentorship was to learn how to do Amazon. And, it was some guys with Lambo selling a nice course, oh, we're going to help you through it. And I learned a lot. And, not only did I learn a lot, I was able to meet people in there that I still have wonderful relationships to this day.
Yeah.
So I never look at anything like I got scammed.
Yeah.
But, you know, after that, it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth about investing into really anything.
Yeah.
And so I had to drag my knuckles through a lot of the stuff that I learned in Amazon, which I'm grateful for now. And that's where everything is like perspective because I'm able to really help like my students. And, that's what I really love is like my Amazon business is running smooth and now I'm able to take that time and like help other people. And like Max, who works with you as well, I was able to. I have a student, Max. He's an electrician. He's got 3 kids under 3.
One of the hardest
And
workers I've ever met in my life.
he's been working with me for about 6 months now. And he's about to be able to quit his job. We're getting him business funding. He just bought his second home, and and I Arias came into my community, did a group coaching call, give everybody some game, and Max got on with him, and because people, once you understand that like you are the best thing that you can invest into, and you have to be able to consistently fill your cup up to be able to overflow it to be able to give the other people in your life the you that they deserve. You don't want to sit there and just like I was just a drained vessel and like people who are entrepreneurs understand investing in themselves.
Yeah.
100%. And that's one thing I have noticed. And I heard something the other day. Billionaires will lose millions to make billions. Millionaires will lose thousands to make millions. Broke people won't risk a fucking $100 to make anything.
That's true, man.
And so being able to break free from that mindset um, was just crucial.
Bro,
Yeah.
unbelievable, man. Because a lot of people, you're absolutely on the money. I don't think I've ever met, and goes even back to what we were talking about with the unqualified support system. Like, I've never met somebody more successful than me who all of the things that I talk about doing on my page and that I do with my life, that would, when I tell them that, they go, bro, you're crazy. Like, you meditate. Like, what do you mean you journal? You write down your feelings, bro? What are you talking about? That's crazy work. Like, who would do that? But if you talk to somebody who makes $2 million a year, they'd be like, oh yeah, for sure, dude. I do that every single day. I don't even waste my money. Yeah, that is exactly the
It's
same.
not just something that they do. It's important. And that's been like I can't stress on that enough that like having I have a journal I write things down in every day. I have a note card I write things down on every day and like, you know, having time for yourself. I read every day. And you will never hear a successful person like exactly like you said, like say this. But I remember on the other hand, when I was doing drywall, I would hear everybody, what are you listening to? You reading a book? What the fuck you doing that for? Why the fuck you think you're really good? Well, I'll see you back here in 6 months. And it's that breaking free from that and understanding that you just gotta fucking start.
Yeah.
It's gotta fucking start. And then, yeah, don't get lost along the way.
And start for free. I think like what you're saying is don't just switch your media, right?
Also, I want to point out another thing. You probably won't ever meet a successful person that doesn't have a mentor.
Mm.
I will tell you that.
Multiple, almost.
Multiple. I pay a lot of people a lot of money to talk to them. You know what I mean? I have 3 other mentors besides you in different fields, and it's like that value is invaluable because if you implement the work that is being taught, like the return on investment is astronomical.
Unbelievable.
And you can't put a price on that because also the quality of life increases. And like we were saying, it's not about the money at the end of the day. You got to have money, and like money's great because you get to have fun. Like you said, I've been traveling. Me and her, we traveled like 7 times in the last 5 months or something like that.
I don't even know when you're home. They're following the Instagram stories, man.
And like I didn't have to have a babysitter all summer. I don't have to have anybody go pick my kids up from school. Like I'm able to be there, and you know, yeah, that's what I'm grateful for these days.
Absolutely, bro. And you earned it, man. You earned every penny of it, and that's another thing that's a good segue to the next part. Okay, so what are your hardest, like most difficult things for you? And we've laughed about this on calls and on your group call, is like, I almost gotta beat this dude to be proud of himself sometimes, right? I gotta fight. I'm like, bro, you almost had to pay somebody to be proud of yourself. Like this is a critical level of need here. Like we gotta, because if you looked at your life, and I said this to you one day, it's like if you wrote down your stats on a piece of paper, it would be a movie to anybody else. 7 years, let me do. I just seen a meme like this when your homie starts reading your stats, bro. Listen, 7 years ago in drywall, bro, no motion. I got the Amazon business to 100K, got the coaching business up to 100K, got your dream girl, got your kids in order, your family's respecting you. You're a much calmer person. I'm gonna let you know right now. The first person, I think our very first call, bro, was like right away Trump, like extreme situation in the dynamic, and like, dude, you're not even close to the same person anymore. Like you've had way worse things happen since then, and I feel like it's impossible to tilt you because you've been putting in so much work on that personal development side of things. I know without a shadow of a doubt, maybe again because you struggle with being proud of yourself, but in January, that Phil, half of the things that have gone on in the last year in your business that weren't the glamorous side. Yeah, you've grown an incredible amount. That doesn't mean it wasn't any fires. It wasn't mean it wasn't any some big fires in the last year, right? And I think if anything, you make more money. Some of those fires burn a little faster, bro, and a much larger ones. But you've gotten through all that, bro, and you're living your dream, and you're still getting better every day. It's just getting fucking started. I mean, we've talked a lot about the things that you're implementing, and it's crazy. So just for reference, though, I think I kind of like danced around the numbers a little bit. I've never been straight with it. When you signed up, it was where was your coaching business at?
So the coaching, like I was just getting started.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I don't know, my best month was like 30K, but it wasn't consistent or anything like that. Cause like honestly, at the end of the day, even though I've sold millions of dollars on Amazon, like I still had that problem where like I felt like, do I really belong here
Yeah.
doing this? And like, even though you have so many people who are teaching people all of this shit online and they've never done what I've done.
Yeah.
And like you said, like you gotta beat me to make myself proud of myself. Like just saying that out loud, I should be, like I said, that was my problem. I couldn't be I couldn't be happy. And
that's just important.
like on the other hand though, like I said, my old yearly money is gonna be my new monthly profit. So like at the end of the day, like I did that within a few years, I'm cool. You know what I mean? and so, but like I'm glad because I have so much further to go. So much further to go. And like I'm literally just getting started. And the fact that I was able to lock in with you and find someone who actually gave a shit about me and, you know, was able to help me realize certain things and put certain things into perspective, I'm forever grateful for. forever grateful for. That's why I've always recommend you to anybody I talk to.
Thank
Bring you into my group all the time, and it's yeah.
you. Yeah,
Uh,
that dude,
you know,
you're the goat, bro. You're the goat.
I've
Not me. You, it's
yeah
you.
the
I'm not taking full credit here.
so yeah the but yeah your question, the coaching business, it went from um it was
I
like
think I caught
between
you on a bad month when you signed up. Like I think I had, it was one of the lower months. You had told me you had a bigger month, but when I the particular first month, I think it was like, if I remember, it was like 15K or something like that.
yeah
It was a lower one
yeah
because that's when we were caught you in the sweat, and then
yeah
boom.
because like I was having a hard time, like I said, feeling like I belonged here.
Yeah,
And like, so I wasn't trying to really even generate clients or like let people know I can help them. And, you know, since I got with you too, like being able to pump out more content so like
yeah,
people can know, like, yo, I really went from, I always tell people, 7 years in drywall to 7 figures in Amazon. And I did it. And here's the thing, like I can show people how to do that within 6 months now.
and you have. Like I've seen.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
just so you know, I've seen the both of them inside the community. These it's crazy.
And I love that. And I can say that confidently and sleep at night too.
Right.
And like being like I wrote down I write down on a note card every day something about being able to help 1 million people and travel in the world with the woman of my dreams and my kids. And I'm literally doing that now. And it's an absolute blessing.
Good bro.
That's all I can say.
I don't know. No, I think I have it in our messages here, bro. I want to pull up
But yeah, just so like
you
my coaching business is gonna be a 10x since getting into
10x.
you.
Yeah, it's
Just just for those like wanting to know the ROI you can get for investing into yourself.
well, thank you, bro.
Like 100%.
Thank yourself, bro, because and I'll be honest, right? Because you know me, and this is how I was on sales call. This is how I am ever. Okay, I don't have any need for anybody to buy shit from me if you don't see it as a clear 10-to-1 return. Okay, people like Phil, it's nothing special here. All right, and the thing is that I always said, if you're not gonna do the work, like right now, if you go to my offer page, it says my guarantee is that I guarantee you won't get the result if you don't do the work without a matter of like with no questions asked. Right. So there's nothing magical about me. But for people like you who maybe are stuck with dealing with something, some deeper seated emotions, some things that require not just a business coach, not just somebody who knows social media ads, how to be a better leader, how to speak to people, how to delegate. I can do all that. But somebody also who is actually trained in mental health and actually trained in being able to reframe negative emotions on a high level and has actually built businesses. So for you guys don't know, maybe this is your first time video. I was 23 years old. I opened up a brick and mortar location, having absolutely not jack shit idea what I was doing. We did $155,000 my first year in business as a 24-year-old in a town I didn't know anybody. And I did that through pretty much sheer willpower. But I also closed it a year later because I was probably actually 30,000 profit out of that 150K revenue. And I had to fire people out to deal with it. I know what it's like to make 20 grand in a month. And then 3 months later, it made six. It sucks. But in that moment, I was like, damn, my life is over. This is never gonna it's terrible. But now the feeling that you guys get when I'm working with you guys, that of being able to know what it's like to be in your shoes. If I didn't fuck it all up as a young kid, I would not be able to do this today. If I didn't learn all the mistakes head first and actually do it, I wouldn't be able to stand confidently when you guys are having limiting beliefs because there's certain things that I'm sure you can attest this, that I gotta get a little rough with you guys sometimes on those calls because I'm like, this is not true. You're like, no, it is true. I'm like, it's not true. I'm telling you, Denise, Ella, Max, everybody's done it. And I think we all have that moment where you guys are like, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying I'm ungrateful. I'm like, well, I mean, kind of saying you're ungrateful. And you guys all get through it, we laugh. But I've been through it, you've been through it. And I think having genuine connection with real people is what it's all about. And that's what I'm looking for in a mentor, somebody who I can relate to and has the result. It's not enough to just have the result because at the end of the day, the information's available. It is. The information's on the internet or the AI for free. That's not what you need. Implementation, having somebody who's a phone call away and is now not just this face on social media or a face on a course. When you have the higher levels of mentors where you can, hey, dude, what am I don't know what I'm doing right now. That saves so much time and money and frustration because you have no guesswork whatsoever. You call somebody, get an answer, get the problem solved, and keep moving on the right path. Versus when you're kind of doing it alone, dude, it's like you might not know you're making a mistake for 4 months.
Yeah.
This 4 months doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You just need, and sometimes it's so simple. It's irritating when a mentor. Have you ever had a moment when a mentor says one thing, and you're like, "Oh my
Yep.
God, I'm fucking dumb. Like I knew better. I should have been doing that." What's been a moment like that for you? What's something I've said that's been like, "Geez, oh man, I'm silly. That was crazy."
I mean, it was honestly whenever we were doing that assessment, and you had me just
Well,
like write down like what I really thought about myself
yes,
as,
sir.
you know. But yeah,
Let me see if it's. Yeah, I do got it. I want to read this to you, bro. And I was hoping we could just read this live. Okay. I want to read. I'm not going to read the X over X part, the negative. I want to read what we do. So when we do this, we are at the 5 worst things you think, and then the point is we take the version of you who would have everything at that time that you perceivably think you need and want. Okay, everything. And what would that guy say about those 5 things? We rewrite it in the present tense. So again, this is Phil's words in January about what his life, if he had everything in the world, would be. I want to read it to you here. Okay. Number one, I'm the best dad and I'm the only one that can provide the best loving and nurturing environment for my girls. I am running a 7 figure business successfully. I am unique and I have attracted the right people to me with the help of God, and I am a blessing to those who I come into contact with. I have always have an abundance of happiness and I have the most positive relationships possible. And I am in a relationship filled with love and support, full of trust with someone who will accept and love me. And I don't know about you, bro, but that sounds like what we've been talking about for this time.
yeah,
I mean, I can't make it up, dude. It's a movie. You know, you're the main
yeah.
character. St. Louis Batman, as as we said. Let me see if I don't have much else for you. But what's something maybe I want you to give some advice to the entrepreneur who's thinking. Listen, guys, I don't even care if you hire either one of us. You need to hire somebody. So it's to the person who's on the fence and they maybe have mentors. Maybe they're looking at me and you. What do you have some advice to them? Not necessarily about just getting a mentor, but just in business at all. Okay, about where that place is.
You need to first of all understand, in my opinion, that you can achieve something. The universe doesn't put a limit on how many zeros you can make, and don't look at opportunities as scams. Whenever I got into Amazon, it was everybody around me was telling me it's a scam, and I was able to do over $100,000 within 90 days of selling on Amazon. And I've learned how to turn the hustle that I built selling those name brand products like Clorox, Lysol, Dawn, Crest, all that stuff. People are already buying it. I'm not paying ads. So I learned the business model quick, and I was able to dial it in, delegate certain things so I'm not spending all my time in the business. I was able to dial in the wholesale aspect and able to land suppliers where I can buy from consistently and predictably, and was able to scale my business. And now I'm able to help other people do the exact same thing. And so for me it's just all been a huge blessing. And um yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, unbelievable. I think to add a point before the end, we end this here, but what you said about getting scammed, okay, and this even ties into our friends, okay. I never forget. This so I hope one of you motherfuckers is watching this right now. I'm talking directly to you, and if you don't like that I cuss, don't hire me because I'm gonna cuss when you hire me too. So might as well get used to it. But my friends said I remember forget when you were getting ready to sign up, I had just raised my price, okay, because I had just made the last interview client a ridiculous amount of money in 90 days, and I was like, okay, I think it's fair. That imposter syndrome you talk about is so crazy. When you know that you have the skill without a shadow of a doubt, like if there's nobody there, you're like, dude, I know what to do. I can do this all day. It's like as simple as writing my name in crayon to me. And all from your perspective, it's the same thing with you with people on Amazon. I was like, you know what to do. It's so simple. But and I'll never forget too. You said when you had that imposter syndrome, you had so many DMs from people saying from other people's Amazon mentors that come out and go, dude, this is so much more than I ever would have asked. Like, I've never seen somebody in a space be told that they were over fulfilling as much as you do. And I see you in your community every single day answering questions, dude. And I know how many people, I've been in a lot of communities. You don't see that very often, where the owner is still this busy and is that active in the community, making sure the people who want to get the help do get the help. And that's big kudos to you. And despite being that efficient, you still were like, can I get results for my people? Like, I have another client, Ben is the same way. You know, he's had made 500K a year at his video agency, over $2.3 million in video sales. And he was like, he messaged me, he's like, dude, what if I don't get he's from the UK. He's like, what if I don't get my clients results? I'm like, the fuck are you doing, dude? Run an ad. Like, that's what I said. Like, you know what to do. And you knew what to do. I knew what to do. But I'll never forget when I said that, I raised my price. I called one of my best friends. I said, dude, just had my biggest sale ever. And I told him the price. And he was like, oh, you swindled that guy. It was word for what he said. This motherfucker just had 15K a day and is doing 2 7-figure businesses. So I don't know about you, but like you said, unbelievable return on investment, bro. You've time over time again proven what happens when you work on yourself and when you really take that to the next level. And I'm proud of you, bro. I hope everybody watching got inspired and got some notes. Any final words to the people?
Just invest in yourself, like in whatever you do, and like make sure you take care of yourself while you're doing it. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people. And, you know, Arias has been just an amazing investment in my business, because that's how you need to look at this at the end of the day. If you're going to try to look at this, is don't be looking at that instant gratification. That's what everybody tries to go for. That instant gratification is going to get you nowhere but broke in a 9 to 5 saying yes, sir, to somebody.
Yes, sir.
And you know what I mean? And I don't know about you, bro, but I am never going back to saying yes, sir, to another motherfucker. It has been luckily 3.5 years, and I'm not doing that shit again.
Yes, sir.
So, and but no, like, just believe in yourself. Don't listen to outside noise, and just take it one day at a time and lean on God. That's all I'm gonna say. Appreciate everybody for watching.
Yes, sir. And I think if you guys can learn for you from free on Thursdays.
Yes, sir. Let me go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do teach Amazon, and like I said, I help people take their 9 to 5 income, or if they're already selling on Amazon, and I help them transform that into a business that can work for them. Amazon wholesale is where we just sell name brand stuff that people are already buying every single day on Amazon. 60% of the sales on Amazon come from third-party sellers like myself. And if you go to my Instagram, Amazon Trapstar, you're able to go through my page and watch this business change my life over the years. And I've built a system. It's an easy 5-phase system anybody can implement, and I teach it exactly how it works in my business every single Thursday. There's a link in my bio where I go over everything, and you can sit in there for free, and I would love to see you there.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll also be linked in the description of this video. Also piggyback off of his idea, because he's such a good idea at helping out people for free. And fun fact, that X over X assessment that we talked about, I gave it away for free in my free community, despite you having, Phil Hahn that we interviewed today paid a lot of money for it. So don't miss this opportunity before he beats me for giving it to you for free 99. So you guys can get that full assessment in the community, in the course. Again, it's everything that we went through. It's a 20-minute training. It's not as good as going through it with me one-on-one to help you and pull those deeper answers. So if you want to do that, you can DM me on Instagram or go through the links below. But otherwise, I hope this video was valuable. I hope the next 7-figure whatever is watching this video right now. In fact, I know you are. And I'm looking right at you through the screen with the chromes on your shirt because you're watching a video at YouTube 2 a.m. I hear you. You got it, bro. Believe in yourself. You can make it. So, all right. Go.
Yeah.
Cut. Oh, man.